two different sugars are given, that is A and B, and some characteristics are given related to these two sugars, and we need to check out the correct statements among them. For information purpose, the sugar A is nothing but sucrose, whereas sugar B is lactose. Here, a sugar is said to be reducing sugar if it contains free aldehyde or ketone group. Sucrose is made up of 1 unit of glucose and 1 unit of fructose, whereas lactose is made up of 1 unit of glucose and 1 unit of galactose. Now in the case of the sucrose, both in glucose as well as in fructose, the reducing ends are not free, isn't it? There is no free aldehyde or ketone group. So that is the reason why this sucrose is non-reducing in nature. Whereas in the case of lactose, even though there is no free aldehyde group in the case of glucose, but due to the presence of free aldehyde group in the case of galactose, overall this particular sugar is reducing in nature. So here sucrose is non-reducing, whereas lactose is reducing in nature. So A is non-reducing sugar and B is reducing sugar. And again we need to check out the type of linkage present in these sugars. When we specifically observe the linkage between glucose and fructose, it is in between C1 of glucose and C4 of fructose. So in this glucose, at C1, whenever the hydrogen is above the plane of the ring and the OH group is present below the plane of the ring, this is exactly called as alpha glucose unit. So as this alpha glucose unit and that is linked with the C4 of fructose, so this becomes alpha glycosidic linkage. Whereas in lactose, it is C1 of glucose is linked with C4 of galactose. And again in C1, the glucose unit is like this. On the first carbon, the OH group is present above the plane of the ring and the hydrogen is present below the plane of the ring. In any sugar, so here as the OH group is present above the plane of the ring and hydrogen below the plane of the ring, this particular glucose unit is nothing but the beta glucose unit. So that is the reason why the linkage between C1 and C4 of glucose and galactose is beta glycosidic linkage. So in sucrose, it is alpha glycosidic linkage. In lactose, it is beta glycosidic linkage. So in A, the glycosidic linkage is alpha and in B, it is beta. So our answer is both option B and D.